All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is Transformation Tuesday. Bear with me. I want to make sure that the volume's okay. There's a little bit of music, but not too much music. I want to say hello and welcome. And let me open up the chat here. And, well, we're getting there. We're getting there. There's a lot of moving parts, and this is a live show. And, of course, I am, by myself. I am on my own here. I got my own little live studio. I'm in the office, and today we're talking Decode Your Pain. Okay. So bear with me. I just grabbed it. Where did I put it? Well, nonetheless, there it is. We're talking Decode Your Pain. Well, what is Decode Your Pain? It is about understanding your physical pain. It's about understanding your life's pain. It's about understanding your emotional pain, your mental pain. The pain of life is actually cluing you in so you know the direction to go to. Now, bear with me. That's a big deep dive. So hang in there. Let me just take one more look over here. I have a couple things I want to share with you today. In fact, while I'm looking for what I'm looking for, I have something lined up for you right now. So let's pull this up. Okay. So let me explain before I get in there. This is a brief video. It is something that I recorded a little bit ago, and it describes more about the book Decode Your Pain and about the secret language of the human body and how we can understand ourselves to then get the messages, our wisdom within, the physical force that it causes life within you can be tapped into to express more effectively and efficiently. So let's talk a little bit more about that. Take a look at this video I have for you here. Chapter 1, titled Symptoms Are the Story. And in this chapter, I go through my story a bit, and I go through what I mean by symptoms are the story. And I want you... Alright, so let's pause for a second. I'm going to bring that back. I adjusted the audio. I'm not sure what you heard, what you didn't hear. So let's try it this way. Alright, hang in there. Here we go. Chapter 1. It's titled Symptoms Are the Story. And in this chapter, I go through my story a bit, and I go through what I mean by symptoms are the story. And I want you to consider that our symptoms are analogous to our check engine light in our car. Or if you don't have a car, anything that you use that has a warning light to tell you something isn't accurate, something isn't working correctly. That's what pain is in our body. Now, the causes can be varied. There's physical causes. There's, of course, nutritional causes and toxins that can cause things. But there's also our mental and emotional state that can lead us to experience problems, experience pains. And so this is what this book is highlighted on. Now, I asked the people here in the audience to take a look at a chapter in the book or a page in the book and start to read and to come up with a question. So right now, does anyone have a thought, a concern, a question, uncertainty about, or maybe perhaps more clarification on something that's in the book?
Okay, when you mention pain, do you mean, like today, I went to work, it was fine, and then I got a pain in my knee? Are you talking about that pain, or is there a way to relieve that pain without, if it's not happening all the time?
Okay, so yes, I am talking about that type of pain, like a physical knee pain, though I'm also talking about emotional pain. I'm also talking about situations in life, getting pulled over by the police, getting stuck in a long line at the grocery store. Even these things, they're cluing us into something. Okay, so let's talk about the physical knee pain. Well, there could be physical reasons. Something to do with your chair, your shoes, maybe even how you walk. The common misperception is our body is working appropriately all the time. Where most times our body has had some type of incident in our life and it's working in a adaptive way. Adaptive. That means a way that has to, what's the word I'm looking for? It has to change from working at its optimal to working at a lower state. So your knee, for example, okay? Something changed in your body. The pressure is now on the knee. So that's an adaptation response, meaning your body had to shift or move or align itself differently to account for whether it's your foot or something in your neck or your back or even your arm that changed, causing every muscle, causing every bone to shift its way it moves and responds, even slightly, putting more pressure on your knee, therefore you get knee pain. So that's the complicated factors of, well, what's causing what? And that's a much more detailed discussion, and that's where I go over that material in Becoming Your Own Healer, which is another class that I'll be teaching more of. In fact, I'm building a whole network of classes around that topic of how do we identify, and I know you attended one of those earlier sessions, how do we identify what to do to help unlock the area that got stuck, leading to some type of pain somewhere. Okay, so I hope you got some insight on that. And what we were talking about there is beginning to understand that when we talk about decoding pain, it's bigger than just physical pain. It's life, it's mental, it's emotional, it's nutritional, it's the experience, it's the expression of something that's out of balance from within. And so what the book, what the transformation program, even what the Beginning Your Own Healer program is talking about is how do we, number one, identify what's going on. Number two, then how do we begin to calm it down and listen to the story? And when I say listen to the story, it means connecting to the pain and understanding that there is three components to every pain in life. There's a physical component, a mental emotional component, and a chemical / nutritional component. Now, I've been adding a fourth layer to that, and I'll call that the spiritual or non-physical or soul component. And this is where I have the 4 Foundations program: mind, body, spirit, and soul. And as far as Dan, the comment just came through, yes, can you get help? There is now depending on where you're commenting from, Periscope, go to drkeving.com. That's my main website, and from there you can get the free version of the ebook. Is the introduction. There's also some bonus content all over the website, drkeving.com, drkeving.com. In fact, let's go here, and I'll include the website in the video. You'll be able to see it at drkeving.com, and I have a couple different free programs going on right now that you can access to get some support. I am currently mentoring a number of people right now, and so I will help you in that way. So I am excited that you took action. That is actually the answer to finding the answers to your pain. So blessings and best regards to you on your journey. So that being said, your pain is cluing you in to the symbolism, the metaphor that the subconscious mind is trying to communicate. Now, the point is, the subconscious mind communicates to you, the conscious thinker, the aware person, in metaphor, in symbolism, in weird circumstances. So just like when you see a green light at the traffic light, you know that means go, but you don't have to see the word go. There's a meaning there. So I ask you to consider some thoughts. And so let's talk about physical body parts. And someone even commented on lymphoma. Okay, so let's talk about that. So hands.
how do we work the understanding of symbolism? So in the free introduction ebook to this, there's a chart in the back that's contained. And in fact, I'm going to pull up the chart right now. All right. So the chart, now this is the full book, but in the free introduction book, you get the intro chapter and you get this map of the back. Okay. So Appendix 1, body parts, the associated motions and possible symbolism. Now, a little bit of caution. In fact, this happened today. I was reviewing one of the columns, reviewing one of the rows with this person. In fact, what we were talking about, we were talking about the knee. So I'm going to pull that up so I can go through it with you. So let me get to the knee section and I'll explain what happened. Here it is. Okay, right here, knees. All right. So this woman is having a number of issues, but the knee was a highlight today. And there's a number of reasons why we'll talk about why the knee is important and why this past 4 or 5 days have been really important about connecting with one's soul and then finding out the problems in which the soul, so to speak, needs to rectify. And so knees here have to do with pride, ego, and stubbornness. And then, let me just scroll up a little. The possible feelings, pride, ego, stubbornness. And the possible symbolism, inflexibility of life, unwillingness to bend, won't give in, ego demanding its own way. Now, when my patient, I'm showing her this part of the book, and nothing made sense for her from the first read through. And I said, that's okay. We have to realize that this is not a complete chart. We have to consider some possibilities. So I started doing some techniques, but we tested a word called pride and an ego and stubbornness, and nothing showed up. Okay, great. Inflexibility of the life, unwillingness to bend, won't give in. None of that showed as a positive. But then as soon as I read ego demanding its own way, and we did the test, the body demonstrated very clearly that this was the problem. So she's like, well, I don't demand my own way. I said, well, there's 2 ways of looking at this. There's you demanding a specific thing that you want to do, and there's also the ego way of demanding self-sabotage, meaning that you can't do it, that it's impossible to do, that you don't know how to do. So that when we come to an ego conversation, there's the part of the ego that says, yes, I'm better than everybody, but there's also the part of the ego that says, no, I'm worse than everybody. And neither of those 2 perspectives are accurate. And so what showed up, and then once I said that, it's about a self-sabotage, it's about a doubt, about an inability to believe oneself. She looked at me with her mouth open, just like in amazement. She's like, oh, that is me. So here's the caution, okay? I'm dropping some heavy information, dropping some deep insights here, so bear with me, breathe. If you're not sticking along, watch this 2 or 3 times. Come on back, review it. But the point is, in this story, here's the point, is that she had a perception of what a definition of ego meant. However, what was true was that the complete definition of ego was yet to be considered by her. So this is where we look at our own opinions, we look at our own concepts, we look at our own expectations, and we have to question them. Yes, we must honor what we've come to learn and know, but if you're stuck in life in some way and something's not moving positively in your life, well, that means there's something for you to wake up to, something new for you to learn, something old for you to change. And I know you can do it. I know you can. Just like I know you can read something and you can learn to comprehend it, you can learn to apply it, and you can become a master at it. It takes some time, but it takes some education, it takes some wisdom, it takes some knowledge. Sometimes it takes coaching, sometimes it takes mentorship. So let's talk about lymphedema. Okay. Now I don't have lymph nodes in the book. However, what I do have in the book, something that connects to the lymph system, and it is the spleen, right here. Okay? So in general, when I think about lymph nodes, all right, Lymph nodes are part of the garbage system, meaning it helps get rid of dead, dying tissue, bacteria, viruses that are no longer useful. By the way, bacteria and viruses are useful in the body. That's why we have a microbiome. There's good bacteria and there's bad bacteria. And we have a virome. There's viruses that are good and bad. Anyway, that's my rant for a moment. But anyway, back to the point is the lymphatic system is part of taking out the garbage, is the analogy I like to share. However, the garbage men can get overwhelmed from too much work to do. Some of the garbage men can be on vacation or they could be out sick, so there's too much work for the existing garbage men to do. So what's that analogy? How does that play out in the human body? Well, scenario one, the garbage men have too much work. Well, there's too much toxins in your life. Too much emotional toxins, physical injury, chemicals from our food supply, from the air, from the water, from medications. These things have a burden on the body, and we accumulate them over time. Now, there's all kinds of other stressors, all kinds of other things that cause breakdown in the body, but those are the main ones. And so that means the garbage system, the garbage team is overwhelmed. Now, there's other factors. There's nervous system factors, there's muscular factors, there's skeletal factors, there's the different organs of the body and their factors and how they affect these things. There may be a nutritional deficiency so that the immune system organs themselves have enough gas in the tank to accomplish what they need to accomplish. That way the lymph system can do its work. We'll stick with analogy one for now, but spleen, lymph is, and I'll include lymph in this, sympathy and empathy. Like you're literally connecting to something outside of you to help process it. Right? Empathy is literally you put your foot, I don't know why I can't grab that. You literally put yourself in other people's shoes and you feel what they feel. Sympathy is more like an understanding. All right? But empathy, and this is what people that are called empaths, oftentimes have a difficult challenge of the emotional realm. So the metaphor and symbolism is a possible need to understand, or perhaps embracing too much. That's what I was just referring to. I have an issue with needing to understand. And not necessarily a bad thing, but also oftentimes it can consume me. All right, needing to clean up your act. That's literally the function of the lymphatic system, is to clean up. So perhaps you need to clean up something about yourself in the mental realm, in the emotional realm, in your physical realm. Maybe you have a sloppy apartment. Maybe you don't take good. There's hygiene concerns. And look at this one: imbalances between lashing out and being too sweet. So these are some possible metaphors or symbolism that you want to consider. That's step one. Okay? In the book, I believe we're in the introduction. Yeah, it's in the introduction. And we talk about, I want to make sure I find the right page for you, and then I'll flip right to it. Yeah, page 11, which is so fantastic. I love number 11. And so I'm going to show you page 11 here. Oh, not that far. And it is so this is included in the introduction to Decode Your Pain, which is the free ebook you can download right now. All right, step one, crisis control. Okay, literally that's what the awareness game is. That's what the book is talking about. It's awareness, crisis control, the awareness. You don't know that you can solve a problem if you don't know that you have a problem. All right, but what happens is we have some type of symptom that builds up, and then we get a diagnosis, and now we gotta do something. All right, so the wake-up call. All right, you became aware of something, now the wake-up call. So in my practice, in the holistic healthcare world that I operate in, the symptom is part of the awareness, and the crisis control is what you do, the ice, the Advil, maybe even the fish oil, maybe it's even the turmeric, maybe it's even the boswellia, whatever it may be. You've tried something to bring that pain, to bring the crisis under control, but you haven't been able to do that. So then you reach out for help. And the kind of practitioner, the kind of health care you choose is the kind of answer you're going to get. So then that's the wake-up call. Now, if you choose the allopathic medical community, the current insurance-based healthcare model, well, there's certain results and there's only certain solutions that you can be offered. Be very clear what that is. In the holistic world, well, the options are much more expansive, in my opinion, and I can demonstrate that very easily. However, mind, body, spirit, soul, each of those four components, the four foundations of what life is made of life, need to be addressed all at the same time. Not all at the same intensity, but yes, they all need to be addressed. So then we stop feeding the fire, right? Number 3. And that means you're waking up to the emotional self. You're waking up to what to do, the certain techniques I teach people. They're very simple. Take a minute, literally just a minute or two, and you can find much better peace and calm in a few moments. You can also turn on and activate different features of your endocrine system, your immune system, your musculoskeletal system, the different organ systems in your body, all by shifting your state of mind. This is documented and well known. Well known in certain circles, I'll say that. And then, of course, by the time we get to step 4 and step 5, we are building momentum towards expression of health, expression of wholeness, aka holistic healthcare. And then, of course, number 5, sharpen the saw. That means we just get better and better and better. And even when there's a low, there's a bump in the road, there's an accident, well, we can still ascend to a better place. So we're getting down to the wire. We're getting down to the end here, and I want to say thank you and welcome. Thank you for tuning in and connecting. And I'm here to tell you that there is an answer. I don't know your problem. I don't know your issues. There is an answer. There's not one health concern in the world that at least one person has healed completely from. And so that means the potential is within you to rise above the challenge that you have right now. If you choose yourself, the care, the love, the nurturing, the investigation. If you choose that for yourself first, and then have persistence with that, and then adding cooperation, meaning you're finding people that support you and they meet your values and they meet your needs, and you can find someone that's congruent with your message. And personally, I look at, what do we classify as a scientific model? We're Homo sapien. We are part of the animal kingdom. So what happens when we add toxins to nature? Nature doesn't like it. But if we add the ingredients that nature is in balance with, well, nature responds very wonderfully. You are nature. We've been led astray from that belief. Anyway, with that being said, you have an answer within you. And my job as the practitioner is to help you fill in the gaps of your knowledge and to facilitate you getting the gas in the tank so then your body can do the work itself. Just like if you cut your hand. You keep the cut clean, you get the dirt out of there, but your body heals the rest. I mean, think about it. If you break your arm, I hope it doesn't happen, but you go to the emergency room, the doctor sets the bone, puts the cast on so it doesn't wiggle around so the bones can actually heal together. But what is doing the healing? The doctor's not going home with you 24/7. It's the doctor within. So, I know that you have the power within you. You may need a little facilitation, a little assist, a little nudge in the right direction. Maybe to help someone see the holes in the ship, so to speak, or to help you shift the perspective of how your life and your health are and what they mean and where they're going. But I promise you that the power is within you. All right, I'm Dr. Kevin. Blessings and best regards. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to close out with the closing video, a little promotion, seeing some of the things I've done. And I want to thank the sponsors, 4 Foundations, Becoming Your Own Healer, Transformation Program, Standard Process, MediHerb, Vision Growth, and everyone else I didn't mention. So thank you for support. Thank you for connecting to the programs. And if I can help you, send a private message connecting. The easiest place, drkeving.com. There's all kinds of ways to get a hold of me there. Go to Dr. Kevin Jarina. It's hard to spell sometimes, but on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you name it, I'm probably on it. And blessings and best regards. Click the link, get connected. If there's no link where you're at, if you're on Periscope, go to drkeving.com, and that's how you get started. Blessings and best regards.
chapter 1. It's titled Symptoms Are the Story. And in this chapter, I go through my story a bit, and I go through what I mean by symptoms are the story. And I want you to consider that our symptoms are analogous to our check engine light in our car. Or if you don't have a car, anything that you use that has a warning light to tell you something isn't accurate, something isn't working correctly. That's what pain is in our body. Now the causes can be varied. There's physical causes, there's of course nutritional causes and toxins that can cause things, but there's also our mental and emotional state that can lead us to experience problems, experience pains. And so this is what this book is highlighted on. Now I asked the people here in the audience to take a look at a chapter in the book or a page in the book and start to read and to come up with a question. So right now, does anyone have a thought, a concern, a question, uncertainty about, or maybe perhaps more clarification on something that's in the book?
Okay, when you mention pain, do you mean, like today, I went to work and was fine, and then I got a pain in my knee? Are you talking about that pain, or is there a way to relieve that pain without, if it's not happening all the time?
Okay, so yes, I am talking about that type of pain, like a physical knee pain, though I'm also talking about emotional pain. I'm also talking about situations in life, getting pulled over by the police, getting stuck in a long line at the grocery store. Even these things, they're cluing us into something. Okay, so let's talk about the physical knee pain. Well, there could be physical reasons, something to do with your chair, your shoes, maybe even how you walk. The common misperception is our body is working appropriately all the time, where most times our body has had some type of incident in our life and it's working in an adaptive way. Adaptive. That means a way that has to, what's the word I'm looking for? It has to change from working at its optimal to working at a lower state. So your knee, for example, okay? Something changed in your body. The pressure is now on the knee. So that's an adaptation response, meaning your body had to shift or move or align itself differently to account for whether it's your foot or something in your neck or your back or even your arm that changed, causing every muscle, causing every bone to shift its way it moves and responds, even slightly, putting more pressure on your knee, therefore you get knee pain. So that's the complicated factors of, well, what's causing what? And that's a much more detailed discussion, and that's where I go over that material in Becoming Your Own Healer, which is another class that I'll be teaching more of. In fact, I'm building a whole network of classes around that topic of how do we identify, I know you attended one of those earlier sessions, how do we identify what to do to help unlock the area that got stuck, leading to some type of pain somewhere.